This is Autoline Daily, the show dedicated to enthusiasts of the global automotive industry. The IAA Auto Show is kicked off in Munich, Germany, so I'm sure we'll have a lot of coverage throughout the week. John is even in person at the show, so hopefully we're able to bring you some exclusive content as well, whether here or on our social media channels. Also, if that has you wondering about Autoline After Hours this week, there will be a show. Co-host Gary Vaslash has a panel all lined up, and we'll provide some more details tomorrow. Now let's get to the news. Volkswagen is sure making a lot of noise in Munich, and not just with product either. While many European executives have voiced concern about Chinese automakers coming in and taking over the lower price segments, VW Group CEO Oliver Blume says he's not worried at all. Even though Chinese automakers can make cars 20% cheaper, they still have to adapt their vehicles for European regulations and build out their sales and service networks. And because of that, Blume says the same car might be twice as expensive in Europe as it is in China. We'll say Blume might be right for now, but we hope he's not banking on that being the case over the long haul. Besides, VW still has a lot of work to do itself in China. Sales of its ID family of EVs have underperformed, and it just cut the price on another one of its EVs in the country. To help try and turn that around, VW has plans for new electric vehicles that ride on new platforms with improved performance, software, and batteries. It's developing a new standardized, or what it calls unified battery cell, with Chinese company Gotion that will use new processes like dry coating and will come in chemistries that reduce cobalt and nickel, like LFP or lithium iron phosphate batteries. VW says these batteries will cost half as much to make as the batteries in its current EVs. And it sounds like those benefits were enough to convince Ford that it needed to push back production of the new Explorer. Ford is buying VW's MEB platform to use on that model, and it's going to build it at its plant in Cologne, Germany. But it's pushing back production by about 6 months until the summer of next year while it waits for those new batteries. Reuters reports Ford will also start production of a second MEB-based vehicle at its German plant just a few weeks after the Explorer. And it's not just Ford using VW's MEB platform. Volkswagen says it's, quote, in well-advanced talks with Mahindra as another important cooperation partner. Mahindra wants to use parts like VW's electric motor and new unified battery cells, which could be a good revenue stream for the company. But it needs to keep coming out with new products, and CEO Oliver Blume says that each brand in the group needs to have their own design DNA, which means they need to be even more different from one another than they are now. It says the new ID.GTI and Cupra Dark Rebel concepts are an indication of that electric future. And wow, these two models couldn't look much different from each other, even though they're both based on the updated MEB Plus platform. The ID.GTI looks like a Golf GTI, while the Cupra looks, well, like a spaceship. It's a very angular little two-seater that even looks like the BMW Concept Touring Coupe, which is a new age interpretation of the old M Coupe, often called the clown shoe. VW says the new MEB Plus platform features a 10% improvement in range and efficiency, fast charging of less than 20 minutes, and acceleration of 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in under 5 seconds. Models off of this platform will start coming out in 2025, and some will even have starting prices under 25,000 euros. And next year, we'll start seeing models that ride on its new PPE platform, which was jointly developed by Audi and Porsche. It boasts an 800-volt electronic architecture and over 600 kilometers or 372 miles of range. The Audi Q6 e-tron will be one of the first models to sit on the new platform, which will also launch its new software system. As we all know, VW's software division called Cariad has run into problems, which has caused vehicle delays. That's why it's opening the software-defined vehicle hub, where employees from not just Cariad, but also Audi and Volkswagen will jointly develop its software.
We want to know what drives your testing. OTA, connected car, diagnostics, remote testing. Intrepid Control Systems is here to help you work from anywhere. Intrepid Control Systems, driven by your data.
Mercedes showed off an electric concept that's a preview of a new family of vehicles that it will introduce. Called the Concept CLA class, it's built on Mercedes' upcoming modular architecture, and the range will consist of 4 models: a 4-door coupe, a wagon, and 2 SUVs. The company didn't reveal the battery pack details, but says the concept has a range of 750 kilometers, or 466 miles based on the WLTP cycle. The 800-volt platform can provide 400 kilometers, or 248 miles of range in just 15 minutes of charging. Other features include a new operating system that uses supercomputing and artificial intelligence. The concept also features many sustainable materials, including CO2-reduced steel and aluminum, and sustainably produced and processed leather, as well as trim made from paper. BMW also revealed a concept that showcases the design and technology of its future electric vehicles. Called the Vision New class, the company didn't reveal specifics about the electric drivetrain, but says it offers 30% more range, 30% faster charging, and 25% more efficiency over its current EVs. The interior features a minimalistic design, and controls for most of the functions are located on the steering wheel or through the center display. And like Mercedes' new concept, the BMW features a number of sustainable materials and a more efficient production process. Nissan is dropping the Altima from its lineup. Automotive News reports that the company will stop producing the model in 2025 in order to focus on EVs. But the sedan is still fairly popular in the US, and it was Nissan's 3rd best-selling model in the 2nd quarter, behind the Rogue and Sentra respectively. And while Nissan is also axing the Maxima from its lineup this year, the company isn't leaving the sedan market altogether. So perhaps these nameplates will live on as electric models. And in other Nissan news, the company is delaying production of the new Kicks SUV in Mexico for 6 months because some mold components were stolen from its supplier. The model was supposed to go into production in December, but now it won't start running down the line until June of 2024. GM's autonomous unit Cruise is planning to expand into Seattle and Washington, D.C. The company announced that it has started manual data collection in both cities, which includes gathering info on the local driving environment and climate. This is the first step towards launching robotaxis in the cities. The next step is to map them. Including Seattle and Washington, D.C., Cruise is now mapping, testing, or operating its vehicles in 15 cities, mostly in the United States. But that's it for today's show. Thank you for tuning in.
Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone, solutions for your journey. Intrepid Control Systems, over-the-air engineering, boost your game. Scheffler, we pioneer motion. And by Teijin Automotive Technologies, the formula for better mobility.
At Scheffler, we pioneer motion. Electrifying mobility. Manufacturing smarter. Reducing CO2 emissions. Making energy production clean. Scheffler pioneers motion to advance how the world moves.
At Teijin Automotive Technologies, we combine world-class composite materials expertise with cutting-edge designs because, frankly, there are better ways to lightweight vehicles. So lighten up with Teijin Automotive Technologies, the formula for better mobility.